Hey guys, as you can see, the engine is in the frame and everything is installed. Everything that should allow me to make a first attempt to start the engine. So I'm very curious if the engine actually starts. In this video I will not start the engine yet, but I want to share some little how-to install the engine easily. As you can see, in the pictures I used jack and some wood to support the engine, to put it and align it with the bolts here and here and here, and to put it in frame. So let's take a look at the pictures. And some little how-to and some little tips how to install the engine easily. Very useful tool for this, for installing the engine, is this. I don't know what it's called, but it's used for levering things. It's necessary because when I aligned these two bolts here, I wasn't able to align this one and this one, so I had to help and lever the engine a bit to put the long bolts through. That was one thing. Another thing was that I, due to my stupidity, forgot to install the cable for RPM, which is hidden here through this little shield, the cooling fan shield, right in the back of the engine. So I had everything on, like the radiator and the frame, and then I realized that the cable is not in and I won't be able to get in, so get it in. So I had to disassemble the radiator like maybe 2 times. Now, one time I installed the cable, and then I tried to fill the engine with oil, and I realized that it's leaking from the bottom here. So again, a disassembly of radiator, taking out the front lid and sealing it with silicone. Actually, I was quite disappointed with the new seal I bought, because I'm pretty sure I cleaned the surface thoroughly, but still it leaked. So I put the silicone, and now it's not leaking. As you can see, it was standing here through the night and there is not a single drop, so that's a good news. It's not leaking. I was quite lucky it wasn't leaking from this side, because otherwise I would have to disassemble the whole engine again. Another thing which is quite good to make is that it's not very good idea to fix the airbox in the frame before installing the carbs, because there is not much space here, so we have to move the airbox back a bit in order to install it easily. Also, and that was really like an operation, I installed the carbs, but didn't install the cables, and the cables are over there in the back, and you have to hook them and route them through the frame to the throttle grip. So it was really very funny. It took me like 2 hours to install it, and I had to use tools like let me show. I had to use tools like these in order to put the cables in. So that was very funny. But maybe it is better to install and fix the cables here before installation of the carbs, or once you have the carb moved here like 10 centimeters out of the frame, install the cables and then put the carbs inside. So that was another thing which I had to sort of struggle with. Another thing, I put the battery in. That was very easy, okay, and then I switched the ignition or the battery on, and it didn't light up. And what I found out, again, my stupidity and my fast working without thinking, was that there is a negative cable here from the negative terminal of the battery, and it's connected over there. And when the frame was at the painting company which sandblasted it and painted, they obviously painted even the place where the negative terminal is connected, and I didn't notice that at the first time, and connected it, but there was no metal to metal contact. So the paint insulated the negative terminal, and basically the battery was disconnected all the time. So I had to take out the airbox, the battery, the rectifier, everything here I had to disconnect. I even had to disconnect the rear fender and move it back in order to get into this place, use a file, grind it to the metal, connect it back, and it's working now. The engine, I tried it already. The starter motor turns the engine, so hopefully when I use some starting fluid, I have this one, to blow it into the intake, into the air filter. I really hope the engine will start. I haven't checked if it makes any sparks. I believe it will. I will do that in the video where I'm going to attempt to start the engine for the first time. What I did also, without showing on video, is to fill the radiator with coolant. So theoretically, now the engine is ready to be started. As for the wire harness, I didn't put the reflector, the light on yet, but I just connected the necessary connectors in order to be able to control the bike from the handlebar, and that's basically it. So now the bike is almost ready to be started, and I'm really curious if it does. When I bought the bike, I thought to myself that the frame is relatively nice, and take a look at this, what the frame looks like. It's really shiny, perfect, no rust, excellent. And take a look at the picture which I took right after the disassembly. It was horrible. It was horrible. Now it's like new. A bit of a nightmare was also the drive shaft, because you have to pull the drive shaft a little bit, set it on the shaft from the engine, and then you have to put a bolt through to fix it. And everything must be done with the rubber on, and the rubber is quite rigid, so it's also quite a hard job to do. But finally I managed to do that, and the drive shaft is connected. So that's it. Next video will be about the first start after maybe 7 months of work. So hopefully the engine will start. So stay tuned. Bye.